You are listening to KSG India podcast. This is a short, crisp, concise, exam-oriented, edited editorial for civil services aspirants. In this podcast, we are going to talk about space diplomacy. Source for the content is Chetan Kumar's article for the Times of India. As part of New Delhi's space diplomacy, the Indian Space Research Organization, that is ISRO, is preparing to launch a nano satellite built by engineers from the neighboring country with the help of Indian scientists in the second PSLV mission that's in the pipeline. ISRO has in its pipeline three Earth observation satellites. Two of them, EOS-4 and EOS-6, will be launched using ISRO's workhorse PSLV, and the third one, EOS-2, will be launched in the first developmental flight of the Small Satellite Launch Vehicle, that is SSLV. Confirmations are now available that the space agency is preparing to launch the satellite for Bhutan Sat, in the second PSLV mission that will have OceanSat 3 as the main payload. Other than these two satellites, the mission will also put into orbit India's first private Earth imaging satellite developed by Bengaluru-based Pixxel. ISRO chairman K. Sivan said, and I quote, "This is India's gift to Bhutan as part of the space diplomacy initiatives put in place by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. We are helping their personnel to build the nano satellite, which will be used for imaging purposes. It will be launched on the PSLV carrying EOS-6. The mission will also launch the Pixxel satellite." Talking about the launch progress now, while ISRO hopes to achieve the launch of all three EOS missions in the last quarter of 2021, multiple issues, including disruptions caused by weather, may impact the internal deadline set by the agency. The integration of the PSLV had begun at the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota, but had to be suspended as some glitches were found with the satellite, that is RISAT-1A. It will resume soon as the problem with the satellite will be resolved. The launch of Bhutan Sat may stretch to early next year. However, as per internal deadlines, ISRO is looking to launch it by December. Further, the launch of RISAT-1A would also mark the beginning of a new model for ISRO, as intended by the space reforms initiated by the center. Earlier, ISRO had a supply-driven model. That is, after ISRO made a satellite, it offered it to ministries and government agencies. The three satellites that the space agency is planning to launch are meant for ministries like agriculture, home affairs, earth sciences, and environment and forests. Unlike communication satellites, where the entire capacity could be demanded by one customer, a single Earth observation satellite can simultaneously cater to multiple customers, as the data generated by these satellites can be analyzed for different uses. That's it for this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. To join KSG India courses and to crack the IELTS exam, visit ksgindia.com. You can also get a PDF of this podcast on ksgindia.com.